Imagine a house where construction never stopped, where staircases lead to ceilings and doors open to brick walls. A sprawling, bizarre labyrinth built not for comfort, but to appease restless spirits. This is the incredible, chilling tale of the Winchester Mystery House. Gather close. Chester here, with a chilling story whispered in the shadows of the Winchester Mystery House. Sarah Winchester's life began with privilege, but was soon overshadowed by unimaginable tragedy. In 1862, she married William Wirt Winchester, heir to the famous Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Their happiness, however, was brutally brief. In 1866, their infant daughter, Annie, succumbed to a mysterious childhood illness. The loss plunged Sarah into a profound, debilitating depression. Then, just a decade later, in 1881, her beloved husband William also passed away, leaving Sarah a widow, childless, and inheritor of a staggering fortune, an estimated $20 million at the time, equivalent to billions today. But with this vast wealth came a crushing weight. Sarah became convinced her family was cursed. She believed the spirits of all those killed by Winchester rifles, a weapon responsible for countless deaths in the American West and beyond, were seeking vengeance upon her family. Desperate for answers and solace, Sarah consulted a renowned Boston medium. This psychic delivered a chilling message. The spirits were indeed restless, and they demanded a house be built for them. Not just any house, but one that would continuously expand, never truly finished, to confuse and pacify the vengeful souls. If construction ever ceased, the medium warned, Sarah's own life would be forfeit. This prophecy, whether real or imagined, set the stage for one of America's most enduring and bizarre architectural legends, a monument to grief, guilt, and the supernatural. The stage was set for Sarah Winchester's move west, and the beginning of a construction project that would defy all logic and conventional understanding. She sold her home in New Haven, Connecticut, packed her bags, and embarked on a journey that would forever intertwine her destiny with an architectural enigma, driven by a fear that transcended the physical realm. Armed with an immense inheritance and a terrifying spiritual directive, Sarah Winchester arrived in San Jose, California, in 1886. She purchased an unfinished 8-room farmhouse and immediately set about transforming it into something utterly unprecedented. What began as a modest expansion soon escalated into an architectural obsession that would span 38 years, continuing relentlessly until the day of her death. Sarah employed carpenters, masons, and laborers who worked around the clock, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The sound of hammers and saws became the constant, rhythmic heartbeat of the estate. There were no master plans, no blueprints in the traditional sense. Instead, Sarah herself would sketch out designs, often on napkins or scraps of paper, driven by what she claimed were instructions from the spirits. These instructions were not always logical or coherent, leading to a sprawling, haphazard design that defied architectural principles. Rooms were added onto rooms, wings branched off unexpectedly, and the house grew organically, like some colossal, haunted organism. The motivation, as the psychic had warned, was to create a perpetual motion machine of construction. The constant activity, the unending hammering, the ceaseless expansion, it was all a frantic effort to keep the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles at bay. Imagine the scene. Workers toiling under the California sun, adding turrets, towers, and entire new sections, without ever knowing the final form of their creation. Sarah's wealth allowed her to indulge this extraordinary vision without financial constraint, pouring millions into the project. This wasn't merely a house. It was a spiritual fortress, a monument to both terror and boundless extravagance, built brick by brick, board by board, in a desperate attempt to outrun death itself. As the Winchester Mystery House grew, it evolved into an architectural marvel of the absurd. This wasn't just a large house. It was a labyrinthine puzzle, a collection of bizarre features that seemed to defy all logic, earning it the moniker Mystery House long before Sarah's passing. Staircases ascended 3 floors only to terminate abruptly at a ceiling. Doors, carefully crafted and installed, would open directly onto solid brick walls or, even more perilously, into sheer drops several stories down. Windows were placed in internal walls, allowing views into other rooms or even set into floors. Some passages were so narrow, only a petite woman like Sarah could navigate them. The house contained approximately 160 rooms, 40 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, 47 fireplaces, 10,000 window panes, and 2 basements, yet its layout was utterly disorienting. What was the purpose of these architectural oddities? Sarah believed they served multiple functions. Some were designed to confuse malevolent spirits, trapping them in endless loops or sending them down dead-end paths. Others, she thought, allowed benevolent spirits to move freely through the house, perhaps even offering secret escape routes for herself from vengeful entities. An undeniable obsession with the number 13 permeated the mansion's design, appearing in everything from the number of panes in windows, the number of steps in staircases, to sections of the house being exactly 13 rooms long. For instance, many of the windows had 13 panes of glass, and several staircases had 13 steps. This wasn't just a house. It was a complex, physical manifestation of Sarah's spiritual beliefs, a testament to a mind grappling with profound loss and the supernatural, expressed through an endless, illogical sprawl of wood and glass. It beckons us to consider what other secrets it truly held. Sarah Winchester's daily life within this architectural enigma was as peculiar as the house itself. A tiny woman, barely 5 feet tall, she was rarely seen by the public, living a largely reclusive existence. Her routine was dictated by superstition and her perceived communication with the spirit world. Every night, Sarah would retire to her séance room, a small, dark chamber. Here, she would hold nightly séances, believing she was receiving instructions from spirits, benevolent ones. She hoped on how to continue the construction. These late-night consultations often determined the next day's building plans, which explains the house's chaotic and spontaneous growth. To further elude any malevolent spirits, Sarah allegedly never slept in the same bedroom 2 nights in a row, moving through the vast network of her mansion, sometimes using one of her several secret passages. She would often change rooms nightly, sleeping in a different one each night, ensuring that any vengeful spirits couldn't track her down. Despite her eccentricities, Sarah was not entirely isolated. She had a staff of servants and gardeners, though even they were often bewildered by the house's ever-changing layout and Sarah's secretive nature. She had a fondness for gardening and would often spend hours in the beautiful, sprawling gardens surrounding the mansion, a stark contrast to the internal chaos. She was also known for her generosity, quietly funding various charities and causes, often anonymously. Yet, the overwhelming narrative of her life remained tied to the house, a solitary figure navigating a maze of her own making, constantly listening for whispers from the other side, perpetually in fear, yet compelled to build on and on, a prisoner of her own grief and the spectral demands she believed held her life in balance. In the early morning hours of April 18, 1906, a catastrophic event shook California, the Great San Francisco earthquake. The tremor, estimated at 7.9 on the Richter scale, caused widespread devastation, and the Winchester Mystery House, despite its sprawling size, was not immune. The earthquake severely damaged the upper 3 stories of the mansion, toppling one of its magnificent 7-story towers and causing significant structural collapse throughout. Sarah Winchester herself was trapped in her bedroom for several hours after the quake, only rescued by her servants. The experience profoundly impacted her, confirming her deepest fears. She interpreted the earthquake as a sign of anger from the spirits, a violent warning that she had displeased them. In response, Sarah sealed off a large section of the severely damaged front portion of the house, including the main entrance, believing that these sections had become too dangerous or perhaps too inviting for malevolent entities. She ordered that the damaged areas be boarded up, effectively abandoning them, and shifted the focus of construction to other parts of the sprawling estate. This decision, though seemingly irrational, was perfectly consistent with her spiritual beliefs. It was an attempt to reset the balance, to appease the angered spirits, and to continue the endless cycle of building that she believed preserved her life. The earthquake transformed the house not only physically, but also spiritually in Sarah's mind, making it an even more disjointed and enigmatic structure. It added another layer of mystery to an already unfathomable creation, a testament to Sarah's unwavering conviction that her survival was inextricably linked to the house's perpetual, often illogical, expansion. The scars of the earthquake remain visible even today, a stark reminder of the forces, both natural and supernatural, that shaped this unique dwelling. Sarah Winchester passed away peacefully in her sleep on September 5, 1922, at the age of 83. The moment she drew her last breath, the hammering and sawing ceased instantly. The workers laid down their tools, and the 38-year-long, round-the-clock construction project finally came to an abrupt, eerie halt. The house, unfinished and still filled with Sarah's possessions, was then put up for public auction. Due to the sheer size and eccentricity of the property, it was eventually leased to a group of investors who saw its potential as a tourist attraction. They purchased the house and contents for a mere $135,000, a fraction of what had been poured into its endless construction. Today, the Winchester Mystery House stands as a testament to one woman's unique life and her enduring, spectral beliefs, drawing hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. And the paranormal activity. Reports continue to this day. Visitors and staff alike claim to have experienced strange phenomena, disembodied voices, unexplained cold spots, flickering lights, doors opening and closing on their own, and even full-bodied apparitions. Many believe Sarah herself, along with the spirits she sought to appease, still wander the labyrinthine halls of her mansion. Ghost hunters have investigated, mediums have held séances, and countless individuals have shared their chilling encounters. Whether it's the lingering energy of a woman who dedicated her life to the supernatural, or simply the power of suggestion within such an atmospheric location, the Winchester Mystery House remains one of America's most mysterious and reportedly haunted locations. It invites us to ponder the thin veil between our world and the next, and the incredible lengths to which human grief and belief can manifest in the physical world. What do you believe? Was Sarah Winchester truly haunted, or was her mansion a monument to eccentricity? Share your theories in the comments. If you're captivated by the unexplained, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Join us for more tales